this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
The NFL playoffs are here, and it all starts with Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon.
Man, it all comes down to this.
12 teams, 6 games, 3 days, and one epic weekend.
My goodness!
It's win or go home, and every moment counts on the road to Super Bowl 60.
It's a touchdown!
Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon. January 10th through 12th. Visit watch.nfl.com for the full schedule.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com. Join Josh and Chuck, the guys who bring you Stuff You Should Know, as they take a trip around the world to help you get smarter in a topsy-turvy economy. Check out the all-new Super Stuffed Guide to the Economy from HowStuffWorks.com, available now exclusively on iTunes.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Chuck Bryant, right?
Josh, you want a bite?
I thought you loved me.
I do. Take 2 bites.
But it's got high fructose corn syrup in it.
So?
Well, you know what they say about that stuff.
What?
That it's,
that it's made from corn, has the same calories as sugar, honey, and is fine in moderation?
You only brought one?
The end. End scene.
Chuck, I feel dirty right now.
Yes. We were clearly riffing on a popular commercial.
Yes.
Touting high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. Which is kind of a big deal these days, right, Chuck?
It is, indeed.
Yeah. So Chuck and I are going to talk about high fructose corn syrup and, maybe some of the concerns, what it is, and whether or not it actually is bad for you. It is. So we will get to that right this moment, right?
And welcome to Matt, our guest producer for the week.
Yes, thank you for Matt for filling in for Jerry, who is on vacation, hopefully not enduring any life-threatening circumstances, as is usually the case, right?
And we love young and talented Matt, so welcome.
Yeah, young, talented, and
handsome,
well-groomed Matt.
Yes.
How's it going, Matt? All right, so on to high fructose corn syrup, Chuck. Okay,
yes.
So this stuff didn't exist before 1957. Did you know that?
I did.
Okay. Let me explain a little further then.
Okay.
So in 1957, some researchers figured out that you could take glucose in corn syrup.
Mm-hmm.
I think corn syrup is like all glucose.
Right.
And glucose is one of our primary energy sources.
Right.
And did you know that insulin's job is to actually go in and basically open the cellular membrane to let the glucose in for burning?
I did.
Okay. Well, anyway, so if you want a lot of energy, you could basically pound a bottle of corn syrup.
Right.
Just plain old corn syrup.
Right.
But these researchers figured out in 1957 that if you added a couple of enzymes at different stages, you could convert glucose into fructose.
Right. And fructose, Josh, as you know, is naturally occurring. It's a simple sugar that's produced by a lot of different plants.
Yep.
And it's really, really sweet, and it's more soluble in water than glucose, which is also a simple sugar. So that's why it's good for things like soft drinks and products like that.
Plus, it's also cheaper.
Well, yeah, sure.
And we'll get to the reason why it's cheaper in a minute. Did we mention my cold in this one?
No. You have a cold.
I have a terrible cold, everyone. I'm very sorry if I do that. So my apologies in advance. Right.
But we also should say really quick, too, just so people have their sugar understanding. There's also table sugar is what people probably think of as sugar. That is sucrose, and that's what you get when you combine fructose and glucose.
Well, that's what high fructose corn syrup is as well.
Right.
It's it's sucrose too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just in a slightly different amount. There's about 10% more fructose in high fructose corn syrup than there is in common table sugar.
Right, which doesn't sound like a lot initially.
It doesn't.
But
Chuck,
we'll get to that.
Don't give it away yet.
No.
Okay, so 1957, they figure this out. There's the enzymatic action, and then bada boom, bada bing, you've got high fructose corn syrup. I get the impression that at the time, it was probably a very costly process.
Yeah, in the 50s, sure.
And then in the 70s, people went back to it and they basically perfected the process,
right.
Made it cheaper. Now, the concept of like using high fructose corn syrup really dovetails nicely with what we here in the States call the Farm Bill. And that is this massive bill, which they deliberate every 5 or 7 years.
I'm not sure, actually.
I can't remember either. Anyway, the Farm Bill gives tons of money to corn producers.
Yes, they do.
To the point where you can overproduce corn we do not need, because everybody's got a cob in their mouth, and they'll still get money for it.
Right. Plus, corn is useful in a lot of different ways, so...
Like corn syrup,
sure.
Right?
And ethanol, and
right.
The list goes on.
So we have an overabundance, really, of corn. And Chuck, yeah, that's absolutely true. There was, you can use corn in ethanol. You can use it in high fructose corn syrup. The thing is we used to, before the 70s, and we started throwing corn into corn syrup production.
Right.
We used to send a lot of that surplus corn to Africa, right, as food aid.
Oh, is it
so? In the 70s, on the day that they perfected the high fructose corn syrup process, some poor Ethiopian shuddered and didn't know why. That was why.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Food aid's definitely dried up. And people also make the argument that we're going to have an even bigger problem with food. Not just exporting it, but here, too, if it becomes a viable fuel, like ethanol.
So they're basically going to be using up the corn for the high fructose corn syrup, ethanol, and there's not enough to feed the world? Is that what you're saying?
They'll use it for whatever they can make the most money off of.
Obviously.
Yes.
Good point.
Yeah. So that was my little aside. My little hippie liberal aside there, Chuck.
Very nice.
Okay, so in the 70s, we've got the high fructose corn syrup thing down, and the world becomes awash in the stuff.
Right.
It's in absolutely everything.
It is, and it's in products that you would never even associate with sweetness. Like it becomes, corn syrup isn't very sweet initially, but high fructose corn syrup is really sweet.
Sure.
Yeah. And it's in things like crackers that you wouldn't even imagine.
And they're starting to put it in meats, too, because it's a great preservative.
Uh-huh.
So that's, again, there's only 10% more fructose in high fructose corn syrup than there is in regular table sugar.
Right.
And everybody knows you should eat sugar in moderation, honey,
sure.
Right? So I guess approaching it in that respect, you wouldn't really think that there's any kind of problems with it.
Right, but it's really taken hold.
It has, and also I think the thing that really started to generate concern is over the past couple of decades, it's become clear that about the time high fructose corn syrup replaced table sugar in products like soft drinks, that kind of thing, the incidence of type 2 diabetes and obesity in the U.S. started to climb as well.
Right. I got a stat for you.
I want to hear it.
If you're talking how much it's really taken over the other sugars, in 1970, more than 83% of sweetener consumed in the U.S. was sucrose. By 1997, it dropped to 43%, almost in half, and the rest of the sweetener, 57% was high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
And that was in 97. Now I bet it's even off the charts. You know?
It's even more prevalent.
Yeah.
So public opinion's starting to turn, which is why the corn counselor, somebody, started the ad campaign.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the problem?
Well, the problem is, I got another stat which can kind of indicate it. They did a study of 1,400 middle school students, and they found that nearly 1/3 of their caloric intake was added sugars. And we're not talking about like fruits and vegetable sugars.
No, those are called natural sugars.
Right.
They're not usually taken into account when you're talking about sugar intake.
Right.
Added sugar is stuff like high fructose corn syrup. It's not naturally occurring.
Right. So 1/3. And so in 2005 they did another study, and Americans that year consumed 42 pounds of high fructose corn syrup per person.
Okay, but again, you can say, well, they could be consuming table sugar in the same amounts. They could be getting the same caloric intake from table sugar in the same amounts. What's the problem? Why is everyone picking on high fructose corn syrup? Do you want me to tell you?
That sounds like a great setup.
Okay, thanks. I just set myself up. You know those like self alley-oops?
No.
You throw it up and then you jump up and slam it. You dunk it.
I have no idea. A boomerang.
I don't know.
It's like a frisbee that you can play with by yourself.
We'll go. No, it's not like that at all. It's basketball.
I sense Australians writing in now.
Yeah, we just raised their ire. Again, I'm going to set myself up.
Okay.
Do you want to know why? I'll tell you why. Here's the problem with fructose. Our bodies don't use it like we use glucose.
No.
Like, glucose is such a common energy source for us that we can metabolize it just about any way. It can go to just about any cell or organ or, anywhere in the body and say, hey, metabolize me, pal.
Right.
And all of a sudden we've got some energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
With fructose, there's only one organ that can possibly metabolize it, and that's the liver.
That's right.
And the liver has a certain limit of how much fructose it will process into energy.
Right.
And after that, it turns them into triglycerides, which we like to call fats.
Yep.
So that's one of the problems.
Right. Well, and since it's in everything from like bread to crackers and things that seemingly in meats for preservatives, it's we're getting way, way too much of it.
Sure. It's kind of like that episode of Seinfeld where, like, everybody's eating this low-fat yogurt.
Yeah,
They just can't believe it's low-fat, but it turns out it's not.
They had it tested.
Exactly,
That was a good one.
So everybody's putting on all this weight, and I think that's kind of what happened to America over the last couple of decades. We're unknowingly consuming this tremendous amount of sugar, and it gets converted into fats very easily, and all of a sudden we're a fat diabetic nation.
Right. I've got some stats.
I love your stats, Chuck.
Right
Put
along
your
those
hand on
lines.
my knee while you read them.
I will. In 2007, and this is kind of makes sense, Colorado is the only state in the whole country with less than 20% of its population qualifying as obese.
Yeah.
So
They're
I guess,
very healthy out there.
Yeah, they hike and all that stuff, which is good. And another one, as far as diabetes goes, between 94 and 2004, new diagnoses of type 2 diabetes increased by 23%, which is a big jump. And a lot of people think that the HFCS has something to do with that.
Yeah.
Way
to throw an acronym in there, buddy.
You like that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Sure.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt, from renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year. You can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then, you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like EFTs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC. SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
The NFL playoffs are here, and it all starts with Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon.
Man, it all comes down to this.
12 teams, 6 games, 3 days, and 1 epic weekend.
My goodness!
It's win or go home, and every moment counts on the road to Super Bowl 60.
It's a touchdown!
Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon. January 10th through 12th. Visit watch.nfl.com for the full schedule.
Can I say one other problem with fructose?
Yes.
Okay. It is that there is 10% more in high fructose corn syrup than in regular table sugar.
Right.
And when you start to eat a lot of it and it starts to appear in all sorts of different foods, that 10% really starts to add up.
Absolutely.
So that would also account for why we're a much meatier country than we were before.
Right.
Except Colorado, of course. Everything's fine in Colorado.
Right.
But ultimately, again, back on the metabolic level, there's been studies that show that the taste of artificial sweeteners or added sugars like high fructose corn syrup actually make us want to eat more.
Yeah, amazing.
And it has nothing to do with what we're doing with it metabolically. It's the taste. We love the taste so much it's like crack to us. So when we eat something that contains glucose, right? And when we eat anything, generally, there's this chemical that's produced in the stomach. It's called ghrelin.
Ew.
I know, it's got a terrible name.
It does.
But it's actually really important. Ghrelin travels up to the brain and says, okay, stop. This person doesn't need to eat anymore.
Right.
Here she's full. We got all the nutrients we need down here, so just cut it off for a little while, and then another chemical will let you know when we're hungry.
Right.
Right?
Sure.
We don't produce ghrelin when we eat fructose.
Okay.
So the brain's never getting those signals that it's used to getting saying stop.
Right.
So which is why you can sit there and eat Little Debbie brownies by the box full all day long.
Nutty bars.
Yeah, those are good
So
too.
good.
Swiss cake rolls ain't too bad either, pal.
No, they're all good.
Yeah, not to pick on Little Debbie. It's Little Debbie is a fine company and far from the only company using high fructose corn syrup.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
We love you, Little Debbie.
So, Josh, I think we're at the point now where we can talk about what you can do if you're worried about something like this. Which you should.
Lay it on them.
Well, clearly everything in moderation, just like the cheesy little commercial says that we mocked. But what you need to do is you need to start checking the packaging of your foods, and better yet, you can try to start avoiding packaged foods as much as you can. That's really where it's at. I mean, I had a friend that had high blood pressure, and his doctor said you can do a couple of things. You can either get on this medication, or you can start eating fresh foods and avoid packaged foods.
Did he go with the medication?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, he controlled it through diet, dude, and he quit buying anything in a box, anything in a package. He ate
Just
fresh
stuff
fruits.
he found like in the yard?
Yeah, he ate fresh fruits and vegetables. He ate meat, and his blood pressure dropped dramatically.
Well, meats he found in the yard?
Yeah, he ate
Like
meat.
cats?
He raised cattle in his backyard.
Nice.
It was good. But I mean, it's always best to avoid packaged foods. When you look at any kind of packaged food ingredients, it's kind of frightening what's in there.
Well, one of the problems is that high fructose corn syrup is substantially cheaper than regular sugar.
It is.
So that means the food prices are cheaper, which is, I guess by extension, or my hypothesis, or theory, I would say, because I'm sure it's been tested, why the poorer classes also tend to be the most malnourished.
Right.
Because the stuff that they're eating is so processed,
Oh, yeah.
so packaged, and so chock full of not just stuff like high fructose corn syrup,
Oh,
but
yeah,
all
yeah.
sorts of other preservatives
Chemical
and additives
preservatives,
that we
sure.
shouldn't be eating, but are cheap and allow companies to produce cheap food.
Right.
It's a horrible, vicious cycle.
Yeah, but you
I
know
mean,
what's
try eating organic in this economy, pal. You can't do it.
Well, true.
You have
But
to be like filthy rich to eat organic these days.
That's not true. But you know what's not cheap?
What?
Diabetes.
No, that's true. It's an excellent point.
And hospital stays and heart attacks. So
That's great.
do yourself a favor. You'll save some dough in the long run if you eat better and take care of yourself.
Plus, you'll keep your foot.
Yeah, true.
So there's high fructose corn syrup. I guess we'll just sit back and expect an angry cease and desist letter from the Corn Council or somebody, right?
Right. We love corn. Corn's great.
I love corn on the cob like you would not believe.
Me
pal.
too. It's one of my favorites.
Yep. Anyway, that's high fructose corn syrup, and followed by our disclaimer that Chuck and I actually do like corn and American farmers and
yeah.
America in general. So there you go. And
God bless America.
are we plugging anything these days?
We can give a quick mention to the blog. You know, we have the blog on the website you can access, and I think most folks are catching on now. We're getting some good numbers. And
Hell, let's plug the thing that we're making money off of.
well, yeah, sure.
Okay.
The Super Stuff Guide to the Economy with Josh and Chuck.
Yep.
You can buy that for $4 on iTunes and learn about economics and get a little better understanding of what's going on in the world.
Yep.
And is it time for listener mail?
Yeah, Chuck.
So, Josh, I was impressed with this one.
I've heard.
This is not a haiku, but it is a poem. And a 17-year-old named Daniel in Colorado wrote us a sonnet.
There's like a more than an 80% chance he's not obese.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, because he's in Colorado, of course. All right, so here we go from Daniel. I would that there were just one reason why the podcast did delight me fully so, that I might be in hasty time supply, a nicely packaged blurb so you might know. Alas, no single reason will suffice. The podcast is a pleasure labyrinthine. To try to craft a reason too precise would make a burly rope of stingy twine. But in those fleeting moments in the night, one wonders, does one really need to know whether one can really die of fright, or if how anger works is apropos. But though it may be triviality, the podcast comes to us completely free. How about that?
That was great.
I couldn't write one of these.
Oh, no. Definitely not. And
So-
try fitting labyrinthine in.
I know. So Daniel in Colorado, 17 years old, you are awesome.
Is he an adult?
He's 17.
No? Okay. Great. Good to know that he may or may not be an adult. Either way, thank you very much, Daniel. We appreciate the effort. And we've always also said you can only gripe so much because it is free, right?
Sure.
Thank you for supporting that point. If you want to send us a gorgeous poem or just type the word labyrinthine and in an email and send it to us, you can shoot that over to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
At CVS, it matters that we're not just in your community, but that we're part of it. It matters that we're here for you when you need us, day or night. And we want everyone to feel welcomed and rewarded. It matters that CVS is here to fill your prescriptions and here to fill your craving for a tasty and, healthy snack. At CVS, we're proud to serve your community because we believe where you get your medicine matters. So visit us at cvs.com or just come by our store. We can't wait to meet you. Store hours vary by location.
The NFL playoffs are here, and it all starts with Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon.
Man, it all comes down to this.
12 teams, 6 games, 3 days, and 1 epic weekend.
My goodness!
It's win or go home, and every moment counts on the road to Super Bowl 60.
It's a touchdown!
Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon. January 10th through 12th. Visit watch.nfl.com for the full schedule.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.